In this video, we'll be seeing what it's like to stay at the Royal Sonesta Hotel in New Orleans. As you can see, I'm already checked into my room here and I've got a 3-night stay ahead of me. But since I'm here in the room, let's take a little bit of a look around. First off, there is this very nice seating place in the corner. And there's this little New Orleans guide for you when you arrive here. Haven't looked through it yet, but let's see. Well, the first page is trying to sell me Chanel, so that's not a good start, but as you keep looking through it, there does seem to be some kind of relevant content. And then there's a Keurig coffee machine right here. These coffee machines are really standard at like mid-tier hotels in the US. But the thing about it is that this Royal Sonesta is actually a 4-star hotel, so it should be a little above that. I wouldn't have minded having maybe a little bit more of a normal coffee machine, or perhaps some kind of New Orleans specialty like Café du Monde or something. But yeah, they don't have that. But right over here in this corner, there is one thing that I just find a little bit unacceptable. If you want a bottle of water, it's gonna cost you $8. At like a Hilton or Marriott hotel, if you hold mid-tier status, you actually would get water for free. And I mean, it's really not a huge issue. The tap water here is fine to drink in New Orleans. But I also hold Sonesta's mid-tier gold status, so it would have been kind of cool if they'd include that for free. But there is a catch to the whole gold status thing that I have to explain to you real quick. When I booked this hotel, the absolute cheapest way to book it was not directly on the Sonesta website. And Sonesta does not do price matches to third-party websites. But since the price was so much cheaper on a third-party website and included some bonus freebies, I decided to book it third-party. But the whole thing about that is that when you book with third-party, Sonesta does not guarantee that they'll give you any of your status benefits. So basically the most relevant benefit to me is the fact that you get free breakfast as a gold member. But upon checking in, I verified that they would not be giving me, or anybody else staying at this hotel, free breakfast. No, according to the hotel receptionist, this Sonesta simply does not give anybody free breakfast, regardless of their status benefits. The whole thing about it is that Sonesta really doesn't have to give me the benefits because that's just the T&Cs for their program. But if you do happen to be staying at this hotel and you're considering staying at it because you would want to use your Sonesta free breakfast benefit, know that they're not going to honor it. But I think that's enough Sonesta shenanigans. Let's get back to the room because there's a few interesting things in here. And we do happen to be in New Orleans, which might be one of the coolest cities in the world. At least I've heard that it is. It's my first time here and my first hour here, even my first 30 minutes here, so I couldn't tell you yet. But one thing that's clear in both this hotel and this room is that there's some New Orleans style decor. That desk I was sitting on has a really pretty looking chair. And then behind it, there's actually some stuff from when the French were here. La ville est nommée d'après le duc d'Orléans. So basically, this city is named after the Duke of Orleans. So just think about New York. It's New York. The old York is in the UK. If you ask me, they could probably just consider renaming it Louis Armstrong City. But keeping up with our room tour, there are some nice details here, I have to say. This is a cool marble table here, and the lamps have these like large shades. The style of this room it's good looking. Then there's some drawers here. It seems functional as well. Nothing in them. You can smell the hardwood as well. It doesn't smell like musty or something. It smells like that good old wood smell. And then here's a fridge. Interesting. It's one of those fridges that you can see through, but it's like all foggy on the outside. Strange. It's not really all that hot or humid here today. I wonder why that is. And other than that, at the bedside, you're equipped with a few USB and a bunch of charging ports here. Then there's a phone. And you are able to call the front desk at this hotel. Oh, thank God. I mean, it is a 4-star hotel, right? And then over here in the corner, there's an alarm clock. This alarm clock also happens to have 2 USB ports and 2 sockets. Plus, it's the same situation with some drawers on the side of the bed. Yeah, and then a safe below that drawer. And then I think it's something similar on the other side. But actually, let's see. There's probably not 2 safes in the room, are there? Nah, it's just some space over there. And then you've also got a nice little seating area here, and then there's what looks like a pretty big walk-in closet, but let's open it up and see. Oh, it is pretty substantial for a hotel room like this. There's an iron here, although the iron's actually in the other place. Looks like someone just left it there. And then there's some more drawer space. Everything's freshly painted. And yeah, this hotel definitely has that New Orleans vibe. It's not like a brand new building or something, and that's like a good thing here for sure. You can feel something good in the air. And one other thing to show you before we go over and check out the bathroom is this little courtyard area they've got out here. You could say the kind of little catch with this hotel is one side of the hotel has balconies hanging out on Bourbon Street. And the thing is, Bourbon Street is insanely loud. I think all the time. I mean, it's my first time here, like I said, but I was really adamant that I did not want to stay on that side, and I actually sent the hotel a request for a quiet room before. So if you ask for a quiet room, this seems to be what you get. And I seem to have really gotten a quiet room. There's not really any loud noise or anything over here. And I did drive by Bourbon Street right when I came in here, and it was quite loud over there. So if you're looking for a quiet room and you're not coming to New Orleans to have a huge party, at least all the time in your room, then you want to ask for the quiet room in this hotel, I think. But we have made our way over to the bathroom here, so let's take a look at the amenities that they've got. First off, there's some vegetable soap, so that's a nice huge bar of soap. And then some body lotion, cocoa mango. I wonder if it really smells like coconut and mango. Indeed, yeah, it really does. It's got that Caribbean smell. I like it. And then it seems like every hotel in the United States, especially in the South, has to have these makeup remover wipes. I guess I'm not going to need those. But other than that, this room is quite basic, actually. You've got, this is kind of like exactly what you would find at a Hampton by Hilton in Europe. At least these little dispensers look like that. But there's some shampoo, also cocoa mango, conditioner, cocoa mango, and bath gel, cocoa mango. Surprise. Now, I am just personally not a huge fan of these bars of soap. But I know not everybody agrees with me on that. And the thing is, there's only one bar of soap in this room, unless there's one in this drawer. No, there's not. There's another drawer over here. Let's see if there's one in here. Nope, no bar of soap. So basically, if you really like bathing with bars of soap and not bath gel, then I guess you need to ask the front desk for an extra bar of soap or something. But I'm just trying to be thoughtful here for those that don't agree with me on bars of soap. I'll be fine with my bath gel. And talking about the word bath, there is a bath here. There's also a stain in the bath, which is really less than ideal. I mean, particularly at a 4-star hotel. And there's like these watermarks. It doesn't feel like super clean in all honesty. I don't know what the deal with this bathtub is exactly. I think I'm probably gonna end up using it anyway, just because I really would like to take advantage of having a bathtub. But 4-star hotel or not, this stain is really not ideal. There's gotta be a way to get that out, right? Oh yes, and these prices on the door are always hilarious. Obviously the checkout time is always at 12 noon, but the maximum room rate, standard room, $1,000. Suite, $1,800, or the presidential suite, $5,000 per night. I couldn't imagine having paid so much for a hotel room, well, anywhere, but especially for this one. And I mean, as we've taken a look around the room, I'll leave it up to you to decide, but according to my definition of a 4-star hotel, this hotel room, it looks nice, it looks okay, but it's not really what would come to mind when I think of a 4-star hotel room anywhere in the world. And I've come back out here into the bedroom here, but I don't know if you just heard it. You can definitely hear the plumbing from the room next to us, or could be perhaps the room above. I don't know. That is one other thing to consider in this hotel, I guess. You might have some sounds from internal things, not just Bourbon Street. But one last, I guess I'll call this a public service announcement, to be honest. This thing on the bed is no good. Why is it no good? Do you think they washed this thing? Well, okay, maybe they did. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt, but I'm not gonna sleep with this thing. This has obviously been laundered, right? This doesn't smell like it's been washed, to be honest. So the best thing when you enter a hotel room that's got one of these bed covers is to just put it as far away from the bed as possible. I mean, there could be all kinds of problems with that thing that doesn't necessarily have to be washed ever. And the sound of the plumbing is on again. But I think there are a few interesting things to see outside of this hotel room, but still in this hotel. So let's go have a little bit of a look around. So the entrance is just right here behind me, and that is a very chaotic street, Bourbon Street. But the second you get in here, it's kind of like, with this fountain, it kind of feels like an oasis away from all of that. I'm sure a lot of people would visit New Orleans for that kind of chaos, but not really my vibe, to be honest. So I'm liking how this lobby is. A lot of echo in it, though. Marble floors and nice seating areas. And the Jazz Playhouse does have to be connected to the hotel lobby, so you don't have to go far for nice live music. And it's got a very New Orleans-y vibe with all the art they have here. And if you bring a dog, they've got dog treats for free for your dog. Then the check-in area, along with the concierge, is just in this section. If you've been over to Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, there's that same kind of aroma in here. And that combined with the marble floor vibe gives me a little bit of a Las Vegas vibe, to be honest. And then just stepping down the stairs, there's this lower little area here. Basically, there's the car park down here. And if you're parking a car like me, they only have valet parking. And it costs a very exorbitant $55 per night. Yes, 5-5 to park your car somewhere. Luckily, the deal I booked via a third party included free parking, which basically means that you just need to tip when you get your car to the valet driver. Because otherwise, at $55, there's probably a hotel somewhere in this town that I could just spend a night at for 55 bucks with free parking. Obviously not on Bourbon Street though. And then the hotel does a kind of cooperation with Moss Antiques down the street, so there's a few antiques on display. I think that's a pretty cool touch. And otherwise, mostly the hotel is just hotel rooms from level 2 up to 7. But also part of level 2 has some meeting rooms, it says, so I suppose you could also have conferences here and stuff like that. And since my breakfast will not be included here and the price is kind of high to eat it at the hotel, I'll just be eating breakfast outside of the hotel. So I'd assume that's probably what the standard guest here does, and I won't be reviewing the hotel breakfast. But lastly, there is a fitness center and a pool area. But the thing is, right now it's like 10:30 p.m. or something, and the pool closes every day at dusk. Today dusk was like 5-something p.m. So that's like really early for pool to close actually, but that's how it works here. You can see in the distance, there's definitely a pool. But I went back to check it out during the daytime, and it turned out that in addition to a pool, there's also a pretty impressive inner courtyard. There's an outdoor bar in the middle too, but it didn't seem to be in operation during my stay. And then the pool itself looked pretty nice, to be honest. It wasn't all that cold during my stay, but it was still wintertime and perhaps just a little bit too cold for swimming, especially on a cloudy day. But one time passing by, I did see a couple of people swimming. But other than that, that's really about it for this Sonesta hotel. The hallways do look pretty cool here. I like them. These lights have a kind of appealing vibe, although as you can see, one of them had a rip in it. And yeah, maintenance in this hotel seems to be a little bit hit or miss, having just walked around a bit. But more or less everything seems to be clean. No big stains on the carpet or anything like that. And while this place definitely doesn't offer anything towards the luxury end of the spectrum like you might hope to have at a 4-star hotel, it seems quite acceptable. And the thing is, to stay here, per night I paid $104 plus taxes. So for staying around Bourbon Street, you're not really gonna find a deal better than that, especially not with parking included. But regardless of that deal, after my stay, I did notice that I had received some extra charges. In short, to get those incorrect charges refunded to me, I ended up having to reach out to the third party I'd booked with, and the whole process took months. So, New Orleans is definitely one of the coolest cities I've ever visited, but I'm just not so sure I'd even bother staying at a Sonesta hotel again after that. So I hope you found this little review of the Sonesta over here in New Orleans useful to watch, and if you did enjoy this video or just find it useful, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel for a ton more travel videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'm gonna head to bed and I'll see you all in the next video.